What is up there, guys, and welcome back to another episode of The Evolve. I want to get right into it. You guys seen the title, you guys seen the thumbnail, and yeah, on today I want to talk a little bit about, not so much, well, I do want to talk about the problem that I had with Scruface. It wasn't a problem or an issue indirectly, but it was one, to say the least. You know, I bring this up because recently, on my recommendation, I was recommended one of his videos that came up a few hours ago. And I think it was something along the lines of, it's something about Dax. And Dax reached out to me, or Dax called me, or talked to me, or something along those lines. I will put it up here. This was the video, and I had some time. Now, I'm gonna admit that it's been a long time since I watched a Screw video, and it's not because I don't like his content. It's just because I leave my house 4 o'clock every morning and get back at 9 o'clock, and so I'm very selected. There's probably like 3 YouTubers that I do watch. One of them is my godson and whatnot, and the other is Onish Pranks. But I catch videos when I can. But I'm not here to talk about that, but I want to talk a little bit about, like I was saying in the title, somewhat of the issue that I had. And I think it surrounded more around the whole culture of YouTube and the atmosphere and the example that was set through what he had done. You see, it started with the Dax versus Scruface situation. You guys know the story by now. Scruface had Dax come on with a feature. He paid him, and Scruface expected something, and then Dax, he delivered something else, and he delivered something that was, low par to what was agreed upon. So, and then not only that, Screw then goes on to make a diss track on Dax to let the public and to let the community know what Dax had done. And then that diss track, it was a great diss track, and it was accepted all across YouTube community. And then Dax came back and he was like, hey, you pay for what you get. You get what you get and don't throw a fit, is basically what Dax was saying. And Dax was like, if you paid half the price. No, that's not the bar. That's not the bar. But he said something along those lines. If you paid half the cash, then you get half the gas, or something like that. And that was his response. So there was this whole big thing. But like I said, Scruface diss track, it was super popular, and it blew up on YouTube, and it was accepted, and it opened many doors for others that had felt that Dax had dissed them or did them wrong in the past. It opened door, and it paved the way for others to feel comfortable and dissing Dax now. It was as if Screw, he had went against a bully and he won. But in return, he made several other different little bullies. This is what I mean. This is what I mean. During that time, after Scruface had dissed Dax and he was getting popular and so much was going on, others, they decided that was the thing to do on YouTube. They decided, and not just that, but many, they just start dissing Dax and all things Dax just to get on a Scruface side. Just to get on a underdogs. Everybody wants to be a part of the underdog. They want to cheer the underdog on. They want the underdog, especially when the underdog that's not supposed to win, the underdog wins. Everybody wants to be a part of the story. And that's what happened on YouTube. Everyone was not, it was as if, you guys know, take for example, there is a basketball game, and it is a very, I don't know, someone like the Magics versus the Thunder, or someone, it's an underdog story. The underdogs are there, they're getting whooped, there's no way they're gonna win. But the fans are in the stands and they're cheering for the underdog. Go, go, go. You can get it. You're making that comeback. Yes, we're doing the wave. And that's how you cheer on the underdog. But what happened with YouTube and with Scruface, they got out of the stands, they got on the court, and they start balling, and they start playing in the game. They're not supposed to play. They're supposed to cheer from the stand. That's not how things work. That's not your game. You're not supposed to go against them. You're not scheduled against him. There can't be any vegans on YouTube because there's just too much beef. I'm being serious now. I mean, we literally had YouTubers out of the woodworks. People that can't rap, we're pale. They are coming in and like, hey, I got your back. You're the underdog. They were playing in the game. And it created this bully mentality. Everyone felt the need to, okay, keep hitting them, keep pounding them, keep pounding them. Because like I said, Scruface, he had made it popular, he had made it cool, he had made it awesome, he had grown from it, and other channels felt that they can grow from it too, and in the process, probably get a shout out by the underdog. And that right there, a shout out from the underdog. That speaks a little bit, that speaks about, I guess, my problem that I had with the whole situation is because, yes, Screw, he could not control what the fans and other rappers and YouTubers were going to do just for the sake of doing it. It was literally bullying for the sake of bullying. Now, you can call Evolve a troll. You can call him a corny nigga. You can call him whatever you want. But one thing you'll never be able to call me is a bully. Or a sheep. Or someone that follows or supports bullying. That's just not me. And we had YouTubers bullying for the sake of being on the side of the bully slayer. And they felt that it was cool, it was alright. And you know what? At no point, if you look on my channel, I strategically decided not. I didn't cover, I didn't react to no janitor, I didn't react to none of the diss songs, and they were popping out like popcorn. I haven't reacted to Dax whack YouTube rap. I haven't reacted to none of that. Not the situation. I made one video way back when it first started, where I talked about the Screw and the Dax situation. And even then, I just basically previewed everything that was going on. And then from there, after I seen that we had these little bullies and these channels evolving, plug in Evolve, from this nonsense, I said, I'm not gonna cover that. And how does that wrap back to Scruface? Is because, like I was saying, he couldn't control what people were going to do just for the sake of doing it, because he did it, and because he had a right, and because he had a reason, because that was his ball game. He was scheduled to play the Wizards. No, but my issue is that although he couldn't control it, he never denounced it, so to speak. And in a way, I personally felt that, looking at his tweets and some of the things that, and the shout outs that he was given to other channels during this whole time, I felt that he was somewhat encouraging it. And sometimes as the underdog, we can get so wrapped up in, the fame and the hype of everything that we lose focus on our core morals and ethics. Y'all know what a definition of a sellout is? A sellout is when one forfeits his morals and his ethics and his authenticity for the sake of personal gain and money or fame or different things like that. Now, I'm not calling Scruface a sellout, but I think at sometimes we can get so hyped in the growth that almost all the time, at some point, we can find ourselves having these sellout moments. And we need something to kick us back and remind us of who we are and why we started in the beginning. Scruface, and like I said, I didn't feel like he had denounced the behavior. Instead, it was encouraged, and there were streams and there were videos where he shouted out channels after channels for their diss tracks and so many other different things. And mainly, and like I said, I seen it as supporting this mentality of bullying for the sake of bullying. Because 90% of these people in these channels had nothing to do with it. I literally seen one person that made 3 diss tracks. Because Dax in his song, and this is exactly what the person said, Dax in his song, it sounded like he mentioned his name because his name starts with that letter, and Dax must have been talking about him. Dax wasn't talking about him, and he knew it. Like I said, it was bullying for the sake of bullying. And I didn't feel like Screw had created this atmosphere, and not on purpose, but consequently, but still didn't denounce it until today. And that's what leads me, he made this video on Today where he talked about, hey, you guys need to stop it. Some of you all had nothing to do with it, and you guys are literally battling Dax for the sake of battling Dax just because I did it. And that's the reason why we never covered it here at Evolve. I don't get involved in that stuff. I stay in my lane. No one is going to ever be able to say, you know what? I helped make Evolve. He got a shout out for me and he got thousands of subscribers. No. I remember I had 100 and I was like, whoa, I got 100. Remember I got 1,000. I was like, I got 1,000. You know what? All 17,000 of you all came not from a shout out. It just came from me just making regular videos. It's not because, I was on some type of hype train. Just be on the hype train. Yeah, but in this video, that's exactly what he said. Yeah, but in Screw's recent video today, he talked about that people need to stop it. And that it's been gone too far. And I can say that in a way that he kind of like made, as if he had made peace with that by denouncing the little bullies that were bullying just for the sake of hype. And you know what? I respect everything. And you know what? I've got a whole new level of respect back for Scruface because of that video. I mean, I was super proud. I was surprised. Because, it is so easy. It's so easy to be hateful and to put out a diss track and to hop on and get so caught up in the hype and the fame of everything. But I can tell you what's hard. That takes a strong person. It takes a strong person to give compliments. It takes a strong person to denounce bullying and hate and hurt. It takes a strong person to denounce those things. You know why? Because it's not popular. It don't get the views. It's not cool. And I guess that's why you can say sometimes that Evolve is not cool. I don't go by that. I wake up in the morning and I say, hey, you know what I want to talk about on today, and I talk about it. Rather it's goofy, crazy, or trollish, we talk about it. Alright? But I think that's coming to kind of the conclusion of what I want to say. There was a little bit more that Screw said yeah, and that was another thing, in this video, Screw, he did talk about how there was one person that he's not gonna really mention. But this particular person that was dissing the Dax, that him and Dax had a conversation, and they were like, oh man, this guy is like goofy or whatnot, and all that good stuff. And then Dax showed him an email, and Dax showed that, yeah, he showed him something totally different than what this person is kind of portraying out in the public and trying to say. And and Screw, I guess he said for the sake of I don't know, for the sake of fandom and people following him and don't want to break the bridges of YouTube by disclosing the name or whatnot. In the end, if he don't disclose it, somebody else will. So I guess for the moment he's not, but you know, at the end of the day, what's in the dark will come in the light. It's always like that. So that's my thought on that whole situation. Anyway there, guys, that was it. That was my little rant. And you know, Evolve, you know, we're always honest. We're always straightforward. I'm always straightforward with my perspective on life, my perspective on what I think. And that's what it is. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. I know some of you all, see a lot of you guys new ones here. They ain't never been here before. You guys come from Scruface Nation. You just go like, hey! Got this machete. Got this machete. Seeing what you talking about. Oh, machete. Let me stop messing around. But guys, I do thank you guys for watching. I like to know in the comments. I know not everyone is going to agree with me. That would just be, if everybody liked you guys, that would just be boring and weird, and just, I wouldn't like a life like that anyway. It's so much fun when you got haters and people talking about you. It's so much fun. It's so much more entertaining, and it's so much more great content. But I do thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you all think in the comments. Other than that, I will see you guys back on track with another video later on tonight or tomorrow. Other than that, as always, if you're new to the channel, hey, how you doing? Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, boy. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.